Hello and welcome back to the Neon Chronicles. In today's video, we're going to be looking at WuWa Wars, which is a new bracket that we are coming up with here in the channel to take a look at every character in Wuthering Waves. If you're like me and you didn't make it into the closed beta, then this is the best that we can do for now. We're going to be taking a look at 4 stars separately from 5 stars, unfortunately except for 1, as you can see here, because they're both melee. We thought it was appropriate to pair them together. And of course we try to pair in terms of elements. In the end, we want to try to come up with the dream team, right? Who would you want to pull if you're a free-to-play player and you only have a couple limited pulls? Of course, we want to categorize things based on combat, personality, and design, because I think these 3 categories play a big role in how much we might enjoy a character. So keep that in mind when you do your voting. It's not just combat or just design. We want to find a good balanced mix of the 3. And for today, we're just going to be taking a look at Aalto and YangYang, who are 4-star Aero characters. Let them introduce themselves.
Howdy! The name's Aalto. I've got everything you need, from food and housing to trades and information. You name it. When it comes to doing magic, I wasn't really into it at first, but it's quite handy, you feel me? Disguises for infiltration, collecting intel, and for running for my dear life. Yeah. Most importantly, giving everyone a good laugh.
So now that you get a sense of his personality, let's get into his visual motifs and gameplay. So the Blake Bloom is a sigil, the flower sigil that he wears that gives him access to the Black Shores, which is a region that is a bit exclusive in the world. He's a gunslinger, and he's inspired by mist motifs, which we'll get into with his gameplay. For his normal attacks, he does a combo with his guns. He also has an aimed shot where you get to be a little bit more precise with where you want to aim. He has a resonance skill where missiles fire off and hit the enemy automatically. For his Resonance Liberation, he creates 2 portals where you get to shoot through those portals and it gives you a damage boost. And then the fun thing about him is the Forte Circuit, which is essentially a mist mode where you get to walk around. Another unique thing about Wuthering Waves is that when characters switch in and out, they have exclusive intro and outro skills. For him, it's all about Aero damage boosting, which is going to be great if you like Aero. So that's Aalto in a nutshell. Do you like this character? What do you think of his design, his combat style, and his personality? Our next Aero character competing against Aalto is YangYang, and for her, you do actually unlock her for free. But let's hear a little bit about her first.
I am YangYang. The flowing streams of wind guided me to you. Wind scatters things and gathers things. Coming and going is a constant of nature. Don't mind it too much. Where in the distance will we be led to? The lark's song is about to sound.
For YangYang's visual motifs, I see a lot of references to Yin Yang, but just YangYang. So she's really trying to preserve and ensure the eternal flow of goodness, right, and innocence and grace. So we'll see how that plays out with her lore as the game unfolds. So let's get into her combat. Her normal attacks will use her sword and her cerulean wind to attack the enemy. It kind of looks frosty even though it's wind. Her resonance skill, she does a mini tornado, and for her resonance liberation, it's almost like a bigger version of that tornado that will suck the enemy in and disorient them. And then she does have a really fun mid-air attack where she kind of shoots the enemy up and plunges back down, which is unique to her. Now, unlike Aalto, that gives you more of an Aero damage boost, YangYang will give you some of that, but she also gives you more energy back. So she's going to be a really great support if you want to do the resonance liberation of other characters more frequently. So that's YangYang in a nutshell, and I know that this is a free character that you get right away, but if you do want to go for getting multiple copies of this character, she might be a really powerful one. So now that we got into their individual kits, let's take a look at these characters when they go head to head. So based on the current info that we have, YangYang is going to be better when it comes to HP. So if you tend to die easily, YangYang might be your pick. When it comes to energy, Aalto's going to have a bit more of that, but that's because YangYang is going to buy you back energy with that outro skill. So these characters are pretty balanced, and I would say they both have very even kits. When it comes to their combat, as we saw, YangYang's gonna be a bit more fast-paced, it seems, because you're gonna be up close to the enemy and you can land those slashes faster. When we compare that to Aalto, I think his gameplay is a bit more complex, especially because you have to enter the mist mode and sustain it for as long as possible to improve your damage output of the missiles. So more interesting features there perhaps, but makes him a little bit less button mash friendly. So what do you think when it comes to these two characters and previewing some of the characters that we'll have ahead? Who is your dream team? Do these characters make it in? Are you more of a person who's going to be playing an Aero team? If so, here's some footage of that. Of course, this is not my footage, it's testing footage so far, and it's probably going to take a little bit of a skilled player to get to this point, but some unique features here. You know, you see those outro skills with Aalto's taunt. So if you could only invest in one and you're going for more copies of these characters, who are you going to pick? Is it going to be Aalto and his kit inspired on the mist and teleportation and going through the enemy? Or do you like more of the flashy, fast-paced tornado swirl gameplay style that YangYang provides? Let us know in the comments. Please cast your votes. We are going to try to do some voting for a week and then try to upload another video with the next round for next week. If you want to stay tuned and continue to vote, see who's winning week by week, then make sure you leave a like, leave your comments with who you want to see at the top, who is that dream team, and of course, please do subscribe. It really helps out the channel and it's the best way to stay in touch. So thanks again for watching. Please join us next week and we will see you then.